early.
Yes.
Wow. Just wow.
Dun, 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 dun. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Wow. Michaela fucking shit up right out the gate. Way too fucking early.
I'm sorry.
Unfucking believable. Anyway, folks, welcome to Season 3 AACL Tonight, episode number 8. And as you can see by the graphic, we got a creeper. Oh, hey, Lisa's calling. Let me take this call real quick. Hey, what's up, baby? I'm live on the air. What are you up to?
I am walking in the sunshine and rain. It is literally raining on me, and the sun is blazing hot.
You should write a song like that called Sunshine
Sounds
and
like
Rain.
Florida.
Like, how crazy is that?
That is pretty
It's
crazy.
literally raining right now with the sun out. There's no clouds. It's
That-
just raining.
That is crazy. Are you on your way back to your hotel?
I'm walking back to the parking lot from the restaurant so that
Okay.
I can get to the hotel.
I will call you back after the show.
All right. Love you.
Say hi to all the AACL peeps.
Hi, ACL peeps.
All right, love you.
Love you.
Bye. All right, folks, welcome to episode 8 of the AACL Tonight. That was my wife, Pink Lisa. She's in Nashville.
Where's she at?
She's in Nashville.
Oh.
She got told yesterday that she had to go there today, so she's there.
Oh,
I
I,
think
was about to say sunshine and rain together just makes sense because I'm from Florida, so I'm used to that shit.
Doesn't it sound like there should be a song, though? Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Is that Joy and Pain?
I was about to say it should be a song. I feel
Beatles.
Well, yes, it's the Beatles, but I also think it's DJ Rock or Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock, right?
Hold on,
Joy and Pain. It's like sunshine and rain. Boom. What's up? What's up, party people of the AACL? What's going on? What's happening? What's cracking? Welcome to episode 8. As you can see, we were a little distracted, a little delayed, but
There's also one by Stick Figure, apparently.
I don't know who that fucker is at all.
I don't know, but yeah, Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock, Joy and Pain.
There you go. Anyway, I just fixed the graphic. But anyway, I was going back. I was starting to say before Lisa called, we got a little creeper there down in the corner. We have added Keith's picture to the graphic.
Bro, who leaked my
Of course he
photos?
chooses that picture.
Oh,
Who leaked my photos?
oh, bro, I told you, man. I work for the government. I can find anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Oh, damn it.
Anyway, we got a good show. We're going to talk about the new rankings. We're going to talk about the players of the week. We're going to talk about pick'ems and shit. We're going to talk about the KNPR. We got lots of stuff. So let me hit the chat real quick and see who's actually hanging out with us. As most of you heard a moment ago, Pink Lisa's in the house, along with Justin Reside, Ray Bashan, my BFF, Stream Elements is in the house, Michaela, Gunny, The Beeve, Boomberry, Dave Axis is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Doug Britton, Mr. Churchill. What's up, Churchill? I said Gunny already. Not very many people. I guess they don't like our show anymore. And Gunny's saying, I thought that was Third Hawk 2 a male version. No, that's not what that is.
It looks like he's trying to copy my face, but make it angry.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Nate Hall's in the house. James7171. Trying to find the creepers here real quick. Twin Screw, as always, creeping. But anyway, a couple quick things. In case you missed it last night, a special 2-hour episode of the AACL recap because I was on there, and I guess that just automatically adds 30 minutes. But if you missed it, go back because it is fucking hilarious, especially the end. So make sure you go back and check that bad boy out. I also need to make one clarification from last week's show. I might have made this correction last week from the week before. I don't remember, but I'd rather cover my bases. I had Kansas originally. Since they played the first game tonight, I want to make sure this is clear. They switched to the SMU playbook, and they are keeping the spread gen, getting rid of Ohio State. I had it all fucked up before. It was wrong. That is now correct, so there you go. There she blows. There you go. That will lead us into one very important thing, and that is AACL breaking news. Ladies and gentlemen, if you were paying any attention at all to the show last week, you will see that Greg Soto will be the new athletic director of the Oregon Ducks, bringing them in season 4. I got a kind of a timeline for that now in my head that I will share with you if time allows later on this evening. We know we've got at least 4 new schools coming in, maybe more. So we want to announce the second one tonight. So the second school joining us, in addition to Oregon, in season 4 of the AACL is... I guess I don't get a drum roll. Man, Michaela's really fucking cool.
You gotta give me a second,
Michaela's,
okay?
I did. I was like, and the other school that...
Michaela over here in that.
So she's got one too early, bro. Yeah, she's got one too late. This is like, I feel like I'm reading fucking the Three Bears shit or something like that. We need some
I blame Holdorf.
Right.
I wasn't even supposed to be
That's
here.
a good point, actually. We need some Goldilocks porridge. All right, let's do it one more time. What was I saying? Fucking in addition,
Second team to join us.
yeah, there you
yes.
go. In addition to Oregon, the second team being announced to join us for AACL season 4 is the Boise State Broncos. Ray Bashan.
come on.
Now, I put Ray Bashan, even though that's the quarterback. He's got some other weird Steve name or some shit, but everybody knows him as Ray Bashan. So, Ray Bashan, athletic director for season 4 for Boise State. Ray, congratulations, bro. Welcome to the club.
Oh, it feels great to be here, and I'm glad to be bringing this beautiful blue field to the AACL.
Smurf turf.
The blue, I mean, you know, I will say other people have asked before, and I have declined. But I figure with the new game, it will look better. I wasn't a big fan of it in the old game and in revamped. So I think with the new game, I think it'll look better. So I think that'll work. So let me ask you this. What made you want to be an AD? Now, for those of the people who don't know, you joined season 2. You were defensive back for Florida, played really well, held the most tackles in a game record for a while.
The top free safety.
You left there to come head coach at Notre Dame. So is this just like the natural progression to go from player to coach and then to athletic director? Is that what we're seeing here? Or did you always want to be an athletic director and now's just the time?
I came into season 2. Didn't really know much about any of this, honestly. I haven't touched NCAA 14 in quite a while. Didn't even know college revamped was a damn thing. So I came in here. I just wanted to, learn the ropes, be here and there, try to get along with the community first. So that's when I became the free safety for Florida. Even though 2 schools went out with me, I went with Florida because that was my family's team that they rooted for.
Okay.
And then I went to coach, wanted to expand my horizons, wanted to see how that worked out for me. Didn't really click with me. I wanted to be hands-on with a team more than just being called the coach of a team. I wanted to be more hands-on and have more, control over the team than what I originally had. So that's when you came to me and asked me to be an AD, and I was just like, hell yes, I want to jump on this. I want to get going, especially with the new game that's coming out. I'm going to be full hands-on with that new game. And you asked me what teams I wanted to bring. Ohio State's already brought in here. So my second best was always that blue field, and I love the Boise State field.
That's awesome. And you know what? I love to see another West Coast team. So that's 2 West Coast teams joining the likes of UNLV, who just joined last season. So if we can sneak one more in there, we could probably get an entire West Coast division. As you kind of touched on some of it already, but how do you feel about? Okay, Gunny, Ray changing to a 3rd school, matching the likes of Dave, Gunny, and Freddie. Yeah, we've all been to 3 schools in 3 seasons. Thanks for bringing that up, Gunny. Appreciate that. How do you feel about the transfer portal situation? For those of you who don't know, everybody gets 1 free transfer. After that, you get punished unless you are an AD, or unless you're leaving to go AD at school. So, for example, Ray got his free transfer to go from Florida to Notre Dame. He will not get, obviously, punished or take a hit for moving from Notre Dame to Boise because he's become an AD. But what do you think about the the transfer situation here with 13 players per team right now, but adding 4 teams and hoping that we can get to the point where we can sustain that. Do you think it's going to be difficult for you to field an entire team when some of these other teams are already at 11, 12, 13 players before transfers?
No, I'm not worried about it at all. I mean, I'm just going to let the school speak for itself. You want to come and play football, I definitely have the spots open for you to come and play football. Everybody's seen what I can do on the field as a quarterback for Notre Dame. I'm one of the, if not one of the top 3 people with less interceptions being thrown on this season. And that's with wide receivers that apparently... That wasn't even a dig at you. That was not even a dig at Brooke. But I'm basically letting the stats speak for themselves. If people want to get out of their schools and they want to use their transfer and they want to come to a new school that's going to be coming inside the new game and seeing the beautiful blue field and stunning, I'm assuming it's going to be 4K graphics. You're going to see that beautiful blue field. You're going to be seeing all the beautiful blue uniforms, the orange uniforms. If you want to be known as a Bronco and you want a starting role, because, man, it's a brand new team. You're going to have a starting role if you join in right now. I'm not worried about the transfer portal at all.
Racy McMath just put in his papers.
There's one guy that's banned from Boise State.
Oh, shit. He's number 1 on the transfer portal. That's fucking beautiful. Well, my last question to you, Ray, was going to be your sales pitch to transfers, but it sounds like you kind of just did that right now. So let me ask you this instead. From a league perspective, how do you feel about the growth of the league, adding 4 more teams for season 4? It's going to put us at least 18, potentially 20 teams for next season.
The way I see football, it's healthy competition. That's all I'm seeing. Every single time a new team is getting added, it's just more competition being added into this league. And I welcome it with open arms because that's more brains going into one space and, just trying to grow the brand even more is what I look at it for. That's why I did the Ray Cap. That's why I want to be an AD. I want to keep growing the AACL into the best spot that it can be. And hopefully with everybody else that's joining in with these 2 other teams that are in, especially with Oregon that we announced the other week, I hope they have the same mindset with me as they want to see the AACL grow even bigger than what it is right now.
Awesome. Well, Ray, again, congrats. Welcome to the AD club, if you will. And we're looking forward to seeing what you got in store for season 4.
Oh, y'all be on the lookout. The Broncos are going to be running all over y'all's asses.
I do like the fact – I love the fact that you guys are bringing West Coast teams in because I think we need West Coast teams. Only having UNLV right now is kind of shitty. So
I will let you know it was between 2 teams for me after Ohio State was already in. 2 teams for me. It was either Boise State in that blue field or is the one team that I always chose in NCAA games and just kind of like raised them from the ground up, and that was the UAB Dragons.
Oh, yeah, the Dragons are cool. Both UAB is cool, and I like UCF, too. UCF is kind of fun to play with. So,
I'm trying to stick away from Florida, being a Florida man and all.
I get it. That would give us 3. That would give us 3 Florida teams anyway. We don't need that shit. We don't need that shit. Anyway, all right, Ray, thanks again, bro. Appreciate you stepping up, and congrats one more time.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, folks, back to our regularly scheduled program. Let's talk about rankings. Before we get into the KMPR with Keith here and our official Week 7 rankings, let's look at records. Penn State, the lone undefeated team, and not only are they the lone undefeated team, but they now have a 2-game lead over everybody else. There's not a 6-1 team in the league. UNLV had a chance to go 6-1 last week. They fell short. So you've got Penn State, you've got some separation. Then at 5-2, you've got Alabama, LSU, and UNLV. Just above 500, Iowa, Kansas, Ohio State, and Tennessee. Just below 500, Florida, Notre Dame, and Syracuse. 5 teams, or is that 14? 4 teams at 2-5, Auburn, Missouri, Nebraska, Virginia Tech, and of course, Miami getting their first W last week. So we have no 0-7 teams, thank God, because I was running out of room on the fucking graphic. So that worked out perfect. So thank you, Miami, for making my graphic work a little easier. Miami at 1-6. It's kind of crazy to think. Real quick, I'm gonna go around before we get into these. Ray, I'll start with you. Then I'll go to Yogi and Keith. It's kind of crazy to think that Miami, if they win this week, they could be tied with the likes of teams of like Auburn, Nebraska, Virginia Tech, and Missouri. What the fuck happened?
They lit a fire under their ass pretty much. Nobody expected Miami, including myself. I wanted to make a soundbite of saying the Hurricane football sucks. Going with your comment, if they were even 0-7, that still wouldn't have added or removed a line. So I don't.
Well,
I don't know
if I moved the 6-1, it would have added. So if I left the 6-1 in the NA, then 0-7, you wouldn't have been able to see on the graphic, bro.
Oh. Well, it's fine because if Miami was 0-7, we wouldn't want to see them anyways.
You know, if they were 0-7, oh no, you're right because they were 1-6. So if one of those other teams had lost,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying now. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Well, look at I was trying to pay them a compliment, and you're like, "Fuck Miami."
Yeah, still, fuck Miami. They get one win, and
Wow.
y'all hyping them up. Y'all
Okay,
are hyping them
all right,
up
but
like it's
listen.
the fucking Penn State Nittany Lions.
Dude, they could easily be 4-3. Some bad clock management was the difference. I mean, come on. But anyway, all right, Yogi. What about you, bro? I just said the Miami thing, but anything in the standings stick out to you?
Yeah, it was something you said on the recap last night about being 15-game season and it being a game of streaks.
Yeah.
You got Virginia Tech with 4 losses in a row. You've got Auburn finally getting another win. You've got Missouri with a few losses in a row. You got Notre Dame with wins in a row. Ohio State with wins in a row. Alabama with wins in a row.
You did. Well, you did before you lost this past week, but yeah.
No,
Ohio State.
We've
Ohio
only
State
had like a
4-1.
1-game win streak.
Oh, okay. I thought
Wait.
you had 2. I'm sorry.
Notre Dame.
We've had losses in a row. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, you're right. I mean, Ohio State with 4 in a row now. I think UNLV's lost 2 in a row after starting off 5-0, right? They're 5-2.
Yep.
Yeah, it is, and it's a game of streaks, and we still have a half a season to play, Yogi. So there's a lot going on still.
Yep.
Keith, we'll round this line of questioning up with you. We talked about Miami. We talked about streaks. Penn State's got that nice little buffer there. Anything sticking out at you here 7 weeks in as we look at the standings?
I mean, I know a lot of people may be surprised about Miami winning last week, but I predicted it on the Tonight Show, so who saw it coming?
Motherfucker had to hear defenses just to make a prediction.
Hey, man, it makes a difference. There's 3 teams on the field at any point: offense, defense, special teams. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see if people switching out playbooks will have as much of an effect as you would think it would, because there was only a couple teams that kept both of their playbooks, and of course you could run whatever defense you want each week. So I think there may be some parity here in the next few weeks, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, I agree. And for those of you who missed last night, something else we brought up, we don't have to go around with it, I just want to make this comment, is that Penn State 7-0, but they've had 5. They're about to play their 6th game, I believe, at home tonight. So they've only played 2 away games. So the majority or the bulk of their second half season after the break is all going to be on the road. So that'll be a test for them and a testament to them if they can come out on top after all of that. Twin Screw, Leathers, Guy Clausen, welcome to the program. Good to see you. All right, let's get into the KMPR first, and then we will go to the official rankings. So let me get a drum roll, Michaela, for the KMPR. All right, not a lot of movement this week. Penn State, Bama, LSU stay the same. Ohio State and Kansas swap spots. UNLV and Tennessee stay. Notre Dame, the big jumper, going from 10 to 8. Florida drops 1 more spot with another loss. And holy fucking shit, Batman. Look who the fuck is back. It's fucking Auburn.
I hate it.
Nebraska dropped out. Auburn jumps in. Ray, your initial thoughts? I mean, it's not that much different from last week other than Auburn in and Nebraska out.
I mean, yeah, but it also makes sense that Auburn overtakes Nebraska for that 10th spot after this week.
Since they beat us. Yeah.
They beat you in overtime, and Krista was definitely in bounds.
Hey, where's the raining bullshit fucking thing?
But
Thank you. Hey, keep that one on standby for me.
yeah, there you go. But it doesn't surprise me at all that there's not that much change into the KNPR top 10. It actually looks pretty fucking normal to me for the first time in this season. That I'm actually looking at it as an actual top 10 instead of what the fuck Wink just threw out of the fucking bingo hall.
You know, Yogi, something that I did find interesting as I was putting this together on the graphic is, let me see where it's at. Is it? I felt like there was one team that had a better record that was
Iowa 4-3.
Yeah, it's Iowa's.
And
Iowa
Syracuse,
4-3. Yeah,
3-4, and
Yeah.
we'll find out this week if that playbook change has made that much of a difference. But they look like a different team this week,
yeah.
so they're one to watch. But I understand why they didn't make it yet.
But a
Iowa-
2-5 Auburn team over a 3-4 Syracuse team and a 4-3 Iowa team. That's crazy,
Yeah,
Yogi. Come on.
But Iowa, I mean, Auburn was hanging in there at 1-3, 1-4, 1-5. They were hanging in the top 10. So
Yeah.
that's not that surprising on the KNPR.
All right,
Yeah,
Mr.
when-
KNPR, let's get the explanation from you now.
All right. Yeah, you know what I thought when I first shut the fuck up. Man.
That was Ray, not me.
Oh,
was
that's
funny.
funny.
I knew it was Ray. Yeah.
That was definitely me.
You know, when I first saw the KNPR this week, the first thing that I thought, of course, was, hey, there's not a lot of movement. That didn't surprise me a whole lot. A lot of the teams that were ranked pretty high in the KNPR played teams that weren't, and a lot of them won, which doesn't surprise me. Didn't surprise the KNPR, so it kept them where they are. I think one thing that's that interesting
The
is
fuck
that
was
you
that?
who
My
knows?
stepdaughter. I apologize.
No, that's okay. I actually thought it was Keith.
She's watching TV.
I-
She's watching TV.
Dude, I actually thought it was Keith. I'm like, bro, you okay, man?
Bruh. Oh my fucking god.
Speedy Gonzalez.
I mean, you wouldn't be too far off.
I know, right? All right.
Oh.
Sorry, go ahead and finish, Keith.
Yeah, you know, something that I found interesting is that we're getting to a point where enough games have been played that you're starting to see the results of head-to-heads have here. So,
Yeah.
for example, Tennessee, Notre Dame over Florida, Ohio State just beat Kansas,
Right.
LSU, Ohio State, Bama beat LSU.
Right.
You know, we're starting to see the effects of those things that, you know, it's what I've been saying. You got to give it a few weeks in the
That-
KNP.
Yeah, but
It's
Ray's an impatient motherfucker,
relatively
man.
normal.
I am an impatient motherfucker.
You are an
It
impatient
didn't make
motherfucker.
it
Yeah,
didn't make sense. It was like doing week 1 all over again, and Winkler's like, "Oh, hey, I got this bullshit team at the top."
You could literally take the word impatient out of there, and that sentence would still ring true. Just for the public to know, too, starting after week 10, so we're going to get through 2/3 of the season, and we're going to add a 4th column on here, which will be the playoff positioning column. So you'll have the KNPR, the records, the playoffs, and the official rankings. The reason why we're waiting is because there's so many tiebreakers until more teams play each other. We just didn't want to fucking deal with the headache. And it would change so much week to week, it wasn't worth it. So at the end of the day, let me rephrase this. Starting at week 10 until week 15, there will be tiebreakers in place because not everybody will have played everyone. Once we get to the end, the only tiebreaker will be head-to-head, and that'll be nice and easy to fill out. So, anyway, that'll be our 4th column starting after Week 10. We want to get 2/3 of the way through the season before we do that. All right, let's see. So we've got
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh,
Ray
Yogi,
wants Ray wants to know why Boise State isn't 10th.
Yeah, you just announced us. Why aren't we in the top 10? What the fuck,
well,
man?
Well, it's because Notre Dame beat you. I don't know, bro.
I mean, they're beating me down pretty bad.
Yeah, they are. Benji, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. All right, folks, we've seen the KNPR, we've seen the records. Let's see what the official ranking is now. And before we do it, let me reach for my trusty dusty notes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 entities voted this week. So 11 ADs and league personnel voted on your week 7. We always do it the week after, so it's your post week 7, pre week 8 rankings. So here they are, week 7 official rankings. Who did that?
What the fuck, Ray?
That was also Ray.
That was perfectly timed.
It was pretty good. It was perfectly timed. All right. So much like the KMPR,
Holy shit.
not a lot of movement. Penn State, Alabama, LSU, UNLV not moving. Look at Ohio State, the big mover, jumping 3. Kansas and Tennessee each drop 1. Notre Dame, usually when a new team comes into the rankings, they start out at like 10 or 9. They jump all the way to 8. Iowa drops 2 spots to 9. Syracuse back in the top 10. They're not in the KMPR, but they're in the top 10. Others receiving votes are Auburn and Florida, and dropping out were Florida and Nebraska. Ray, first thoughts? I heard you say holy shit, so something jumped out at you.
Yeah. We're fucking number 8 after dropping Florida. Finally, everybody's looking at rankings and not looking at, how bad they lost or how close the matchup was. They're fucking looking at the fact that an unranked team.
All right.
Shut up, Mrs. Four Picks. They're looking at an unranked team beat a highly ranked team, and that actually dropped them out of the top 10. I'm surprised everybody has knowledge for this week.
I'm actually surprised you jumped over Iowa. I know Iowa's lost a couple games, but you guys haven't played each other, right? So there's no head-to-head there.
No, we haven't played Iowa yet.
So Iowa at 4-3, but people are liking. They're back on the Notre Dame train, I guess. Yogi, your initial thoughts as you see the official Week 7 rankings.
This was my exact top 10, except I have Iowa and Notre Dame flip-flopped. But with Notre Dame scoring so many points, I can understand how they could have passed them.
Let me see. I had Penn State. I had LSU at 2. I think they had not as bad a loss as Alabama. I had UNLV at 4. I had Ohio State at 5. I had Kansas at 6. Tennessee at 7. Iowa at 8. Notre Dame at 9. So I'm pretty close. So if you switch Alabama and LSU and Notre Dame and Iowa, that's my top 10 as well.
And I didn't do that because Alabama beat LSU head-to-head. That's why I kept it 2 and 3.
Yeah, I don't know. And Ray and I have argued about this too, but for me, eye test, man. I'm big on the eye test. So, Keith, so you've got your KMPR, and you've got the Week 7. They're starting to kind of mesh a little. They're almost like those puzzle pieces are almost starting to line up again, minus the whole Syracuse-Auburn thing and maybe Iowa. But overall, what are your impressions of these rankings and how they relate to the KMPR, actually?
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty close the last few weeks. Obviously, Auburn is still sticking around for whatever fucking reason. But, God, I hate it so much. When I sent you the top 10, I literally put next to Auburn at 10, I was like, I hate the KMPR or something like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're 2 and 5, and they're literally a 1 overtime possession away from being fucking 1 and 6, and all of a sudden they're a top 10 team. I would get frustrated with that as well. And listen, I'm not ripping on Auburn. I love my wife, so I can't rip on them too much. But I don't think they deserve to be in the KMPR top 10. But here's for those of you who might be new, like a Justin Reside in the chat or somebody else. The KMPR is by formula. Week 7 is by voting, or the official rankings are by voting. The KMPR is one of the entities. So this week, one of the 11 for the official rankings, and that's how we work things around here. So, what about? So go ahead.
I'm gonna throw a wrench in here real quick. I just went back to see Auburn's 2 wins. Obviously, we know they beat Nebraska this past week.
Yeah, what was the other one?
Their first win was against now ranked number 10 Syracuse.
And
they beat them. They beat them by like 20 points.
Right, but they're also Syracuse is a sub 500 team, for God's sake. Come on. And more importantly, we all know, as I'm buying time for Michaela to find that
Syracuse football sucks.
There you go.
Hey, she's getting better. She's working on that today. That's good. All right, folks. So there it is. KMPR, your overall records and your official rankings for Week 7 going into Week 8. Penn State, Alabama, LSU, UNLV, Ohio State, Kansas, Tennessee, Notre Dame, Iowa, and Syracuse. Auburn receiving votes killed me as well. I wasn't surprised about Florida. I mean, Nebraska did not get a single vote this time, which kind of surprised me as well. So,
weren't y'all like number 10 last week?
We were number 10 and didn't get a single vote. Like, we didn't have a single write-in. Like, 1 through 10 on 11. on 11 fucking things, so 111 fucking things or whatever.
I mean, it makes sense. You took an L.
You took in overtime. I mean, come on,
You
bro.
took an L
I mean, okay.
behind 4 interceptions.
Fuck off.
I will say one thing that surprises me.
I'm going the Michaela route. Fuck off, Ray.
Hey, Michaela just left.
Michaela left.
Michaela, I love you. I'm sorry.
All right, last
Do
word.
you?
Last
Do
word.
you actually?
Last word, Keith, so we can move on.
Yeah, I will. The one thing that I think really surprised me is Notre Dame entering at 8 because Florida was ranked number 9, and you beat number 9 by 6 points as an unranked team, and you jumped to number 8. I don't know about that one.
Hey, we dropped 42 points on them in the second quarter. Alone.
Yeah, but you also gave up 56 points.
Hey, but it took them 3 quarters to catch back up, all right?
Clams.
Who cares?
Hey.
Should have killed him, man.
Clams. She was so out of bounds that she was
You're fired.
She was so far out of bounds that she was actually almost inbounds on the other side of the field. Hey, all right, here we go. Let's go to players of the week. Offensive and defensive. We'll probably do defensive. I guess we'll do defensive first.
Yeah, keep me in suspense, motherfucker.
I mean, let me just go around. Defensive player of the week. Either tell me who you voted for or who you think should get it. I'll start with Ray. Defensive.
I gotta pull back my defensive player of the week. I said it during the recap. I forgot it because it's another day and I have a short attention span like a goldfish. Where are we? What are we doing?
So, Dora, is it Dora? Not Dora. What is it? Dory, right?
Dory. There you go. That's what I call Clams actually.
Wrong.
Because she's got like the shortest one, so I call her Dory.
We're gonna call you Wrong Way Dory. All right, let's go.
There you go. All right. My defense player of the week, I went with DeHayton. That man had a spectacular game. This past week, so it was a no-brainer to me that I had to go with the Canadian.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yogi.
I had 1A and 1B. I had DeHayton A as 1B, but I had Vinny Boombats with that pick 6.
Yeah, with 2
for
interceptions
Syracuse.
and a pick 6,
Yep.
which basically,
Making him number 1.
Yeah, I agree with that one too. Keith, what about you?
I put DeHayton A. It was a big reason was the whole fumble recovery that he forced immediately after that. I mean, come on, you can't.
He stood over a man holding the ball that he just gripped away from him.
Listen, it was so close, but I feel like Penn State won by 20, man. If DeHayton A doesn't do that, they still fucking win the ball game. For me, Vinny Boombats was more important to the Syracuse victory with 2 interceptions and a pick 6, scoring points on it. So my vote also went to Vinny Boombats. So we split here 2-2 on this panel, not too shabby. Let's see who got it. Your defensive player of the week for week 7 is... It is DeHayton A. DeHayton A with 7 tackles, a tackle for loss, an assisted tackle, a forced fumble, and recovered his own forced fumble. 11 entities. I'm sorry, there were 10. No, 5, 8. No, 11. Yeah, that's right. 5 votes for DeHayton A, 3 for Vinny Boombats, 1 for Luther Vandross Jr.
Yeah, he had a good game.
Yeah, 1 for Gerald Pope, and 1 for Type Attack.
I could definitely see Pope.
I mean, all of those.
All of them.
Yeah. They were all very, very worthy. So there you go. DeHayton A, congrats on your forced fumble, forced recovery player of the week here in the AACL. Moving over to the offensive side now. The offensive player of the week for week 7 is...
The newest,
And he's gone.
newest Boise State Bronco, Gracie McMahon.
Way to go, champ!
Let's fucking.
I was crying.
I love it, man.
He really only had 2 catches for 52 yards?
Yeah, they were both touchdowns. Dude, so basically the way I would twist that on the show would be like every single catch he had was a fucking touchdown.
Hey, look, the Shuckle and the Charizard's here.
Dude, I was fucking dying, man. That was so fucking hilarious. All right, let's say the real offensive player of the week is... It is.
Oh.
It is Pink
What?
Lisa.
Wah, wah,
All right,
wah.
31 of 44, 349 yards, 7 total touchdowns. And by the way, y'all voted fucking Lorenzen with 8 touchdowns over 4 fucking overtimes or whatever. And Lisa did 7 in regulation or in a single over. Oh no, wait, what did they do? I can't remember.
One overtime.
she had a
One
touchdown.
overtime.
Her
One
rushing
overtime.
touchdown. Her rushing touchdown was an overtime.
In one overtime.
Yep.
So she had 6 in regulation. I mean, come on.
So did I?
It's still good. It's still good. Either way. 11.
Ray, just accept it. You didn't
Hey,
win.
here's the thing. Ready? Here's the voting.
We can go back to Racy as offensive player of the week now.
Here's the voting. Much like DeHayton, Lisa took 5 votes. Second place with 3 votes was Slick Pants.
Yeah.
Then Ray with 2
Yeah, that's
votes,
who I put.
and then some, and then Tebow got 1 vote. So Lisa, Slick Pants, Ray, and then Tebow got 1. So, but that Racy McMath shit was funny as fuck, dude. I was crying when I was making that shit today. Y'all just said fuck Race and clams in the fucking chat.
What more do I gotta put on that field?
Just don't do things when people score like 7, 8 fucking touchdowns, bro. That's
I scored
it's-
6
which is
in
what,
regular time
which
and
is-
threw more yards than Lisa.
Nope.
You didn't rush for as much.
Oh yeah,
I don't need the rush when I'm throwing
Nope.
dots down the field.
Nope.
Oh.
Uh,
Can't campaign for yourself. That costs your
Oh,
vote.
is that what I think you had 5 votes until last night's show and it went down to 2. No, I'm just
Everybody's like, "Oh, dude, he's being fucking cocky. Go to Lisa."
That's fucking great. All right, there you go. So DeHayton and Pink Lisa, your offensive and defensive players of the week for week 7. Congratulations. And we will move on to our final segment of the night, our week 6 matchup as we go around the horn, and we also bring up AACL communities voting in the Pick'ems channels. So kicking things off tonight in just about an hour, a little less than an hour, will be Kansas. And I think they were ranked 6th in the new rankings.
Yes.
Traveling to number 1 Penn State. Ray, who'd you pick?
First and foremost, Gunny, that was the first time I actually voted for myself this season.
I vote for myself
The
every week, but it doesn't work out. And then I have to change my vote because I'm not going to win.
Exactly. It's close. I don't see any spark in Kansas anymore. Like they had early in the season. I just don't see that spark in them. Meanwhile, Penn State's doing Penn State things. I got Penn State.
Yep. Yogi, Kansas at Penn State. First game tonight, first game of the week.
It's 51-5, Penn State right now.
Yeah, in
So
the Pick'ems, yeah.
Yeah, and I went with Penn State, even though Kansas is scoring a lot of points. We're going to find out what they got against that defense.
Yeah, well, let me go to Keith first. Keith, go ahead.
Yeah, it kind of seems like Kansas has gone away from the kind of spread option game that Howard runs so well, and he's been throwing the ball a lot more, which is kind of interesting to see. But it seems like it goes against their style that they've used to win, and I think if they're going to keep doing that, then I'm not so sure that going into Penn State and trying to go against your own style will bode well. So I'm in Penn State.
Yeah, I get that. As Yogi mentioned, Penn State 51-5 in the Pick'ems, which is pretty fucking crazy. 51-5. I don't know how many people are in Kansas, but that means not even their whole team voted for them. 51-5. I am also taking Penn State. I've said many times on here, I will not vote against them until they lose. So it looks like it's a clean sweep for Penn State here on the show as well as in the Pick'ems. Moving on to game 2 tonight, the late game at 10 p.m. Eastern. UNLV at Iowa. Ray, who'd you pick?
I hate the fucking memes, so I'm staying away from the Hawk Tuas. UNLV gets off that 2-game loss skid, and they actually.
You get me? You get me? So you're going with UNLV? Is that what you're trying to say? Is what you're saying? Is that what you're saying, Ray?
UNLV wins by 30 plus now.
Here we go. Oh, here we go. Just
you gotta give it that
40 plus. No. UNLV is going to win a close
Okay.
one, though.
All right. A close one now. All right. Yogi, UNLV at Iowa, 10 p.m. Eastern tonight.
Get me. Hawk to us.
Hawk to us. Look at that.
I'm going with a big upset.
Right. And this is at home for Iowa. So,
Yeah.
Keith, does that make a difference for you?
It might, but man, Iowa has to figure something out on offense. They've been struggling all season, and I think one thing that goes in Iowa's favor.
Do you know one thing that they do need?
Oh, you gotta give him that puck.
Oh my god.
that thing.
You get me? You get me?
I'm fucking over it, man.
Go ahead, Keith. Finish up.
Yeah, I think one thing that bodes well for Iowa is that UNLV doesn't win by much if they do win, and that's come back to bite them the last couple weeks. Will that trend continue? I don't think so. I think UNLV wins.
Well, interesting thing. Both UNLV and Iowa run custom offenses, so we'll see how that plays out tonight as well. AACL Nation 51-6. So apparently somebody voted for the UNLV Iowa game, but didn't vote for the Kansas Penn State game. 51-6 in favor of UNLV. I also take UNLV. That makes it 3-1 on the panel here. I think I'm on the side of Iowa has to show me something. It's kind of like the opposite of Penn State, right? With Penn State, I'm voting for them until they lose. With Iowa, I think I'm voting against them until they win and they really show us something. So that wraps up Tuesday night games. Moving on to Wednesday night, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Kick things off, Florida at Mizzou. Both teams kind of on the downside for the most part, or downslide, I would say. Ray, who you got in this one?
Again, just like how I saw Kansas, Missouri, nothing over there is surprising me on Missouri. They had 4 overtimes against Auburn, and it seems like it just drained them for the next game. I feel like that draining is still going to happen because they're still parading over the fact that they beat Pink Lisa and the Auburn Tigers. Yay! Meanwhile, Florida almost fucking came back on 2 goddamn onside recoveries against us, so I'm choosing the Gators.
The Gators. Yogi, the Gators at the Tigers. Who you got?
I'm going like you said, until Missouri shows me something, I can't pick them, so I'm going with Florida.
You with Florida.
Come on,
All right, Keith. That's 2 for Florida, 1 for Missouri. You going to make it unanimous till it gets to me?
1 for Missouri.
Or I'm sorry. I said none. 2 for Florida, none for Missouri.
I heard 1 for Missouri.
You should,
It was the silent N.
you should go talk to
Nope.
You should go talk to the wide receiver
Wrong.
chick from Auburn. You guys have the same judgment.
Apparently, so does the ref that flipped you off.
All right, Keith.
Yeah, that's true.
The what? Would you just
The ref that flipped
yeah.
you off.
Well, we did confirm last night in the locker was hanging a light green shirt. So, Keith, Keith, Florida 2, Mizzou none here on the panel so far. What do you got?
Let's make it 3-0. I think Florida just scores way too many fucking points. Not that Missouri can't score points, but they give up too many for how many Florida scores. I think Florida wins.
Yeah, I'm going to make it unanimous. I also take Florida. Missouri's just they need to put some stuff together. They're kind of like Iowa in my book right now. AACL Nation is picking Florida as well, overwhelmingly 46-6. So that's 3 games. Your first 3 games here listed having single digits for the underdog. Your showcase game, your primetime game, Wednesday night, Ohio State moving up in the ranks on a 4-game win streak, going to number 2, Alabama. Ray, who'd you pick?
Roll Tide, man. They have been pretty much. It seems unstoppable since they lost to Florida, has it not?
They lost 1, I think, right? Since then.
Yeah. I mean, they've pretty much been unstoppable. Their offense seems to be clicking more. Their defense is slowly but surely getting there. But man, when you look at that Buckeye team being down 0-3 just to win 4 fucking straight.
Yeah.
They have something going there, and it's hard to root against it like you would Penn State. I'm going with the fucking Buckeyes.
Oh, look at Justin Reside. You got to wait till he's finished, bro. Fuck you, Ray. I mean, Justin Reside's in the chat going, no. Oh. All right, Yogi.
Right.
Yogi, does the Ohio State nut train, if you will, fucking continue with its 5th consecutive win, or does the Tide put an end to that shit?
I'm one of the 17. I'm going Ohio State Buckeyes in an upset. What a great game.
All right. Yeah, it's only an upset because Alabama's ranked higher and they're at home.
Right.
But I think these two teams are pretty evenly matched overall, I would say.
Agreed. Alabama's been playing.
Oh, yeah, the Coochie Man.
Alabama's been playing much better since they got a full complement of players. Just about. I think they got 11 at least, maybe 12.
Yep. Yeah, that was a big thing for them. Once they got more humans on their team, they've been playing a lot better. I agree with that. Keith, so we got one for Ohio State, one for Alabama. Keith, who'd you pick?
No, 1-1. I mean, two.
No,
two.
wait,
two,
we're
two
2-0 right
I
now.
thought you said.
No, I'm going
I went with
Ohio
the Buckeyes.
State.
Oh,
Both
wait.
those.
Okay, my bad. All right, so 2 for Ohio State, 0 for Alabama and the Coochie Man over there. Keith, who'd you pick?
There's no 3-0 here. I kind of think that Ohio State has gotten a little lucky with what defenses teams have run. I believe in their last 4 wins, I think only one of those teams did not run a defense that ended up running a bunch of three down lineman packages, and Ryan Davis just eats it up. I don't think Alabama does that. And so I think that trying to rely on Ryan Davis like they have the last few weeks isn't going to work out. Plus, they're on the road. I'm going Alabama.
Yeah, I'm going to go Alabama as well. I talked about it last night on the recap that Alabama, I think, has the most talented receiver core in all the land, and you just start throwing it to those guys to Sink, to Coochie, to J-Rock, and I think that's the difference in the game, especially since they're playing at home. This is one of those very close games. I will take Alabama. AACL Nation also taking Alabama 35-17 as we move into the Wednesday night nightcap. Auburn coming off that overtime victory at Nebraska against the team that finally won a game last week, the Miami Hurricanes. Miami playing at home. Ray, who'd you pick?
Apparently, people are voting if they should tell me to screw off or not. Apparently, that's what's going on. That's what's going on in the chat.
Michaela, what does it say? I missed. Oh, it's gone already.
I thought I put it for 2. It's still there.
It's still up for me.
I don't see it. Okay.
It says, should we tell Ray to screw off? And one answer is yes, and the other answer is yes.
Well, which one did you go with?
I'm just staring at it, just like, what did I do to deserve this?
You know what you did.
Whoa. You know what you did, Ray. I hated when my mom used to tell me that. I'd be like, well, shit. Which one? I did like 10 fucking things, which I don't know which one she knows about, right?
Yeah, which one are you talking about, Mom? And then you have to guess and be like, no, I wasn't mad about that, but now I'm mad about that one. Oh,
I know,
shit.
Yeah, I'm not rolling that shit out. I'm like, I plead the 5th. I said I took my class. I took my government class. I know what's up. Auburn at Miami.
And retains to this game. I don't care if they just got their first win. Hurricane football sucks. The old Pink Lisa is back.
She is.
And Auburn beats them by 25.
Wow. I don't see that happening. Yogi, what do you think? Auburn going to beat Miami by 25?
Well, with Miami's new defensive coordinator, Ray Bashan, urging them for weeks to get rid of the 3-4, and they finally did against Tech, and it paid off.
Yeah.
No, it was also Ray. Ray on the broadcast was saying how he'd never seen a 3-4 defense win a game. Kept telling them that.
Ooh.
They're going with the new defense.
I'm the one who based my pick last week on whether or not they were running.
Okay.
Well, I think
I
think after you made your pick, I told you that I think they were playing that night or something. I told you they weren't, right?
Yeah. Or something like that.
Something like that. By the way, just for reference, real quick, going back to that Alabama pick since you brought it up as well, Keith. It looks like the last few weeks they've been running the 4-2-5.
There you go.
So there you go. Yogi, Auburn at Miami.
I got Miami winning their second in a row. Slick pants.
Keith, you a Slick Pants fan? Are you a Pink Lisa fan, or both maybe?
I'm on the Slick Pants train, man. I think 2 things stand out for me in this game. One is that Auburn has given up the most points in the league through 7 games. I don't think that bodes well, considering that Miami's offense is pretty good. They're not.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're not top 3 in the league or anything like that, but they're no slouches either. I think the other thing that's notable
Miami has committed the fewest turnovers of anyone in the league.
Wow.
So the fact that they haven't won a game until last week is absolutely amazing to me. I think they have a chance to ring off a couple wins in a row here, maybe, and that's why I'm going Miami.
Yep, I am also going Miami. I think being at home, I think having the momentum, they made their changes, and Auburn, they won their second game, but they're one overtime possession away from having the same record as Miami. So I think Auburn needs to prove a little more before they can get my vote. Miami is behind though in the AACL community pick'em, 30-22. It's a close. We finally have a close one or semi-close one. Only 8 votes different in favor of Auburn. So it looks like AACL Nation thinking Auburn is back. We will find out Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Moving on to Thursday's first game, our kickoff game on Thursday, Syracuse at Nebraska. Nebraska losing a heartbreaker. Syracuse with a win this past week. Ray, who'd you pick?
Syracuse football sucks.
Hi, Michaela.
What did she say?
How you doing? Apparently, I'm going to curse Nebraska again, but it was Michaela's inability to throw to a receiver that was the curse.
Fuck off.
But I will say the new Pink Lisa figures out a way to become like her idol, the old Pink Lisa, and Nebraska will top Syracuse.
All right, so 1 vote for Nebraska. Yogi, Syracuse at Nebraska. Who'd you pick?
I'm going with Syracuse sucks. I think the switching playbooks has helped them immensely. I think that the dual-headed running game is going to cause some troubles for Nebraska, but I do think Brooke will have a good game.
Don't forget, Nebraska's going to have a custom book this week.
Yeah, I was just about to
this
say
week.
that.
Yeah, this is.
And also, I would like to point out nobody's had an answer for Mrs. Me yet.
That's true.
Okay, so disregard my DM about my playbook because I didn't know we were going this week, but it is set up.
Yeah, this is for week. Yeah, it can start week 8.
I thought it was after week 8. Okay,
you can start week 9 if you want to, but if you're ready for week 8, you can go week 8 because that's what
I'm
I said.
ready. It's ready.
All right.
It's ready.
Awesome. Keith, Syracuse and Nebraska. You're on Nebraska, so I'm assuming you're choosing Nebraska. Tell us why we're going to beat Syracuse.
Yeah, I think the emergence of Mrs. Me is probably the big story on offense for us. We struggled a little bit to begin the season offensively, but we've really figured it out the last few weeks. And the only explanation that I have been able to find is that Mrs. Me is just the fucking GOAT. So that's
wow.
That's what I'm running with.
All right.
She's at like 120 receiving yards a game in her first 3 games, which is ridiculous. And we've made enough plays on defense to keep a lot of our games close, even on the road. And so it pretty much just seems like at this point, the only way you're going to beat Nebraska is if you intercept Brooke like 3 or 4 times.
Right, which did happen this past week against Auburn, unfortunately.
Yep.
So.
See, I'm not the one that brought it up this time. I'm not the fucking one that brought it in this time.
Well, I am also taking Nebraska, but for an entire different reason, is because they have Dave Axis Jr. on their team.
Is he on that team? I was wondering where he went.
AACL.
I mean,
think about myself, I touch myself. All right.
I mean, I would say since Mrs. Me came in, Mrs. Me has been the top wide receiver over that Dave guy.
Yeah.
Well, they switched roles. I mean, I think they made room for her to get into that position.
Because Axis is always an unselfish player and about everybody
Team
else.
player. Yeah.
So he's on
the sideline getting his nails done.
Do we need to go back and listen?
I take Nebraska and AACL Nation 42-10. Overwhelmingly choose the Huskers over the Orange. 2 more games. We've got a few minutes left here. The featured game on Thursday, Notre Dame at LSU. This is going to be a good one. I mean, this is going to be a really good one. This is something I think after Ohio State, Alabama might be game of the week material for me. Ray, Notre Dame at LSU. Who'd you pick?
I mean, LSU's been dropping off every single week ever since they lost to Penn State. Just for some reason, they can't figure it out. I would also like to point out that this is another home game for LSU. Everybody expects LSU to win.
That's right. They're one and 2 or something, right? At home.
The 2 times that they've lost at home, everybody's expected them to blow out their opponent. Everybody's probably expecting them to blow out us, but look at what the fuck we pulled up last week.
Yeah.
We have found that rhythm in the offense, and the defense is again slowly building itself. But it's a defense full of freshmen, so there's going to be some kinks in the chain. I'm going with the upset this week: Notre Dame over LSU.
All right, and I mean that's true, Yogi. LSU plays better on the road than at home, but Death Valley's still a tough place to win. Notre Dame at LSU. Who'd you pick?
Notre Dame is going to be bringing the touchdown Jesus with them, but it will not be enough because the running game of LSU and the LSU defense is definitely not Kansas.
Yeah,
I got LSU winning.
All right, so one for Notre Dame, one for LSU. Keith, who'd you pick?
Yeah, I went LSU here. Their defense is insane. Notre Dame has given up 2 less points than Auburn this season, so they're just barely below Auburn in terms of points given up in that second most points. I just think that LSU runs that, I call it an enhanced service academy playbook at this point because it looks like one. And they run it really, really well, and they just wear teams down over time, and I think it's going to happen again. I'm going LSU.
Yeah, they do. I agree. I've also got LSU. I think Brute Bandit and Larry Bone, a little too much to contain. AACL Nation, the exact same score as the Nebraska-Syracuse one, 42-10 in favor of LSU. Going into the week cap game, Tennessee at Virginia Tech could very easily be a rivalry as these two states are really close to each other. Both have great entries into their games in their stadiums. Both have the color orange. And Ray, this is going to be a good one, I think, too. Tennessee at Virginia Tech. Who'd you pick?
It comes down plain and simple. That Monte Carlo's just sitting on the fucking bricks now, still outside, still gaining the rust. Still gaining the rust. You can't find the parts anymore, but the owner is just sitting there looking at me like, I can't get rid of it. It's a classic. There ain't nothing better than that. As a brand new fucking Corvette drives down the field, and he was like, I wish I had that, but I've spent too much money on this piece of shit in my yard. But I love this piece of shit. Yeah, I can come back with the comebacks too, Yogi. Fuck off. Tennessee wins 4 scores above Virginia Tech.
4 scores and 7 points ago. All right.
Go fuck yourself.
All right.
The Yogi guy on the defense is slow too.
Welcome to the fuck Ray train.
You're right.
Yogi.
You got Yogi cussing now. Damn.
There's plenty of room on that fucking train. Virginia Tech hosting Tennessee. Yogi, I'm assuming you're picking your team. Tell me why.
I'm almost tempted to switch to Tennessee.
Ray had a good sales job.
No. Ray's got nothing to do. Any guy that'll sit there and poll for himself for votes for Player of the Week, I'm not listening to.
One fucking time. I would also like to point out I voted for your quarterback after week 1.
Well, everybody did.
Dude, that was so.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
so far.
That was his one shot of fame. He blew it.
Yeah, that's in the past.
I think I also voted for you, Yogi.
That's so far in the past.
Thank you. Anyhow. With knowing that we're going in my first foray into a custom playbook, if Tennessee does the right things on defense, we're in big trouble because it's my first time into it. But I'm sticking with my team. I'm going to count on that custom playbook, maybe covering up for some of these wild first throw interceptions from Monte Carlo, and we are looking at a Yugo, a classic Yugo that we're going to put in the garage and see if we can get it going.
Awesome.
And I'm going to go with Virginia Tech.
All right. We got one for Tennessee, one for Virginia Tech. Keith, this is the week cap game. Who do you got?
I'm going Virginia Tech, man. I think they're due for a win. They've had a number of close losses. They didn't pick a good time to play the worst game of the year last week. Their defense is a little underrated, man. Their defense has given up the 4th fewest points of anyone in the league. Tennessee has scored the 4th fewest of anyone in the league. and I don't. Did they make a playbook switch? I can't remember. I don't.
Tennessee did not. I don't think. Hold
Yeah,
on.
I didn't think they did.
Let me see right here. Tennessee.
Yeah,
Tennessee.
there's
No, they did not.
there's nothing there. Yeah, so to me, just seems like there's too many things that seem to go against Tennessee. In addition to them being on the road, I'm going Virginia Tech.
All right, folks. AACL Nation 39-13 in favor of Tennessee. I am also taking Tennessee. I actually felt like Tennessee was kind of making some ground there until last week. So I think that last week was just an anomaly. I think they're back on track this week, and I see Tennessee taking out Virginia Tech. Although I do think it's going to be a close game because that always seems to be a close one. And Gunny, I actually just came across that today, and I saved some pictures I'm going to post in the pub about that game. It's pretty fucking awesome there. All right, folks.
And don't forget with Tennessee, they got Jimmy Slick Pants' cousin running, Freddie Slick Pants.
Freddie Slick Pants. Don't forget about.
Yeah, so we got to worry about that.
Speaking of Freddie, he's not here to sing, so we're just going to say goodbye. We will see you in 30 minutes at 8:30 Eastern for Game 1 here of Week 8 as Kansas travels to Penn State to take on the number 1 team in the nation, followed by UNLV at Iowa. Thanks to the panel, as always. Thanks to everybody that was in the chat listening. We'll see you in 30 minutes.
Acknowledge me.
Good night now.